LA has been one of my favorite teams so far this season, and today was just another prime example of why I love them so much. They are just so good on both sides of the ball, on offense and defense, and they were also able to show that the west to east trip that they had to take really didn't affect them today, which is really good for going down the stretch. Now, last week Matthew Stafford had a little bit of an injured hand. Today he looked fine. He was on fire, and that connection to Cooper Kupp with him is still super fun to watch. And I have to say, the Giants actually kept it close a little bit. The Rams got off to a little bit of a slow start, but eventually they got their groove going, they got their rhythm in, and they just absolutely blowed out the Giants today. And it was just an offensive clinic. And the Rams are just such a great team. I've been saying it for a while. Matthew Stafford's probably my favorite to win the MVP right now. Between him, Brady, Murray, and Allen, those are my top 4 MVP candidates. But man, this Los Angeles Rams team is on fire. The only thing is, the Cardinals are currently still 5-0 right now. That's the only thing that's holding the Rams back from being a true playoff contender. If they get into a wild card, they're going to succeed, but winning the division will help get them closer to being the #1 seed. I was honestly shocked when I saw that Daniel Jones was going to play in today's game, and after watching the game, he should not have played at all. First off, you were playing the Rams. You were bound to lose anyway. Secondly, you were without Kenny Golladay, Darius Slayton, Saquon Barkley, and about halfway through the first quarter, Kadarius Toney ended up injuring his ankle, and he was out for the game. So that really only left Daniel Jones with Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram. So he was kind of bound to fail from the beginning. But it's something that made me even more mad about this game was the fact that Joe Judge kept him in there while the game was completely out of hand. We saw how bad the concussion was last week. He's also your potential franchise quarterback. You don't want to risk him getting hurt, and he had just an awful game today, which sucked to see because he was actually off to a pretty decent start to the season. Wasn't really turning over the ball, but today had 4 turnovers. Speaking of defense, the Giants defense practically gave up at the end of the game. It was pretty embarrassing to watch. That's definitely not what I expected from a team who's coached by a guy like Joe Judge. He seems pretty strict, pretty stern. You would expect him to get on his defense to make sure that they are giving it their 100 every play, and B, to take out Daniel Jones when the score is as high as it was towards the end of the game.